and then you do all that, then you have the nerve to come on like, am I wrong? Am I wrong, y'all? Am I wrong? You are dead ass wrong.
I'll touch that 5 for you. I do that 3-4 times again. I testify for you. By multi to yeti boost and I do all of them around. Just get to do. I'm not. As long as you are here looking for me, I got it. Ooh, yeah, baby.
What's up, guys? It's your sister, Jessie Woo. Welcome back to my Chanel here at Just Another Day. All right, it's TikTok Tuesday. I know I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back with the motherfucking jump off. I'm coming right on in. Not out, buddy. Okay? All right, so let's get to it. A lot of you guys have sent me this TikTok, and I think the reason being is because of the subject matter. It is a girl who came to TikTok and talked about her first date being at church. And a lot of you know that my first date with Mr. Easter was where? The house of the Lord. The house of the Lord. So I have a lot of thoughts on this TikTok. I have a lot of thoughts. Now, I know usually I do TikTok Tuesday live, but I'm putting myself in live jail. I crashed out last week on my main channel. No more crash outs. I need to I need to put myself in jail for a little minute. So we are in live jail for a minute until I learn how to just compose myself when I'm annoyed. But without further ado, let's get into this TikTok as I do my makeup.
Okay, so I went on a date. The date was going to church, but I was late to the date. He arrived at my house at 9:25. At 9:20. I was out by 9:25, so I was pushing the time that it took to get to church. So then I wanted to get some Starbucks. So we go get Starbucks, and he felt like I was pushing the time because church started at 10. We arrived to church exactly at 10. But you know how when you're in the car and you got to get like ready, put your lip on, get the oil off the bottom of your shoes and stuff? I was doing that. So my date was really anxious to get into church, but I felt like you could just wait for me. So then he's like, I'm gonna just leave you the key. Mind you, this is my first time at his church. I've never been to this church before. I'm a little anxious. It's a date. It's already like the nerves are there. So he leaves, and then I get upset. And I'm like, I feel like you just left me. So I text my friend, and I was like, can you come pick me up? And she's like, where you at? As I'm texting her and talking to her, he comes out because he's like, where are you at? I said, I'm leaving. So then I'm like, he's like, no, don't leave. So I get out of the car, and he's like, come on, let's just go to church. Let's go to church. Let's walk in. And then I was like, no. So I turn around. I was like, I'm not going. And then this went on for like less than like 2 minutes in the parking lot. So then I get tearful because I'm feeling left out. Like, I feel like you just tried to leave me. And I don't know what that is. But I need y'all to tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong for saying I'm going to leave? Because he said that he felt like it was disrespectful to do all of that. And I just don't feel like I was being disrespectful, because I feel like once you got out of the car, you basically left me. And I don't know. I'm your guest. Granted, I don't think that was the intent, but I want to know if y'all feel like I'm disrespectful, because I just don't think it's disrespectful that I felt like he could have waited like 3 minutes. I was done. We got to church at 10. I wrapped everything up by 10:03, but then he wanted to hurry up and leave. And then he ended up having to come back out. Am I wrong? Is that wrong? For real, like, is that wrong?
All right, so Miss Starbucks me while I'm running late and making you late for church service, but still, I'ma still need a Starbucks run, is asking us if we're wrong. And the answer is, not only are you wrong, you are dead ass wrong. Dead ass wrong. And your lack of her lack of self-awareness is just extreme. Like, it is extreme. I'm going to get into, how my church date, resulted into my 1.5-year relationship that I'm in right now with Mr. Easter. But before I do that, I just want to address this TikTok and say, sister's wrong. She's dead ass wrong. And anybody who doesn't see how wrong she is, you too may be suffering from a lack of self-awareness. First and foremost, the man gave you a time to go to church. The man planned a date. Whether you agree with, I've seen some online commentators say, oh, but I mean, a date to church, that doesn't even matter. He gave her a date to church. She agreed. He gave her a time. He picked her up and she still was late. And, this is a Black woman. You know how serious Black people are about our church. And you know what? Take out Black people, period. People, period. Christians, period. People who go to worship services, period, whether they're a Christian or not, they take that very, very serious. Church starts at this time. Ain't nobody finna wait for you. Nobody's waiting for you to start service. Okay? So you were already running late and the man patiently waited for you. The man who came to pick you up patiently waited for you to continue to get ready. Okay? So he patiently waits for you. And on top of that, not only do you come outside, come to his car, we don't know if you greeted him, we don't know if you hugged, we don't know what your attitude was, right? But we do know that you were late. He knows you were late. We know that you're aware that you're late. But despite that, you still wanted to make a Starbucks run. There are some things that annoy me, like extremely annoy me in life. And people who lack self-awareness are at the top of that list of things that annoy me. People who just don't care about other people's time and efforts are also on that list. You're literally showing up to your first date with this person with your worst foot forward. Your absolute worst foot forward. Like, hey, just so you know, I don't care about your time. I don't care about your relationship with God. Basically, you showed up to this first date saying, I don't care. Just so you know, if you look up the phrase, I don't care in the dictionary, baby, my face is there. I don't care about your time. I don't care about your efforts, and I damn sure don't care about your church. Like literally, you literally chose to put your worst foot forward for your first date. Mind you, we are in a season where motherfuckers are asking to take us out for coffee. This man asked to take you to the house of the Lord, and this was your attitude. Okay? Yeah. You dead ass wrong. Dead ass wrong.
Okay, so I went on a date. The date was going to church. But I was late to the date. He arrived at my house at 9:25. At 9:20. I was out by 9:25. So I was pushing the time that it took to get to church. So then I wanted to get some Starbucks. So we go get Starbucks and he felt like I was pushing the time because church started at 10. We arrived to church exactly at 10. But you know how when you're in the car and you got to get like ready, put your lip on, get the oil off the bottom of your shoes and stuff? I was doing that. So my date was really anxious to get into church, but I felt like you could just wait for me. So then he's like, I'm gonna just leave you the key. Mind you, this is my first time at his church. I've never been to this church before. I'm a little anxious. It's a date. It's already like the nerves are there. So he leaves and then I get upset. And I'm like, I feel like you just left me. So I text my friend and I was like, can you come pick me up? And she's like, where you at? As I'm texting her and talking to her, he comes out because he's like, where are you at? I said, I'm leaving. So then I'm like, he's like, no, don't leave. So I get out of the car and he's like, come on, let's just go to church. Let's go to church. Let's walk in. And then I was like, no. So I turn around. I was like, I'm not going. And then this went on for like less than like 2 minutes in the parking lot. So then I get tearful because I'm feeling left out. Like, I feel like you just tried to leave me. And I don't know what that is. But I need y'all to tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong for saying I'm going to leave? Because he said that he felt like it was disrespectful to do all of that. And I just don't feel like I was being disrespectful, because I feel like once you got out of the car You basically left me, and I don't know. I'm your guest. Granted, I don't think that was the intent, but I want to know if y'all feel like I'm disrespectful, because I just don't think it's disrespectful that I felt like he could have waited like 3 minutes. I was done. We got to church at 10. I wrapped everything up by 10:03, but then he wanted to hurry up and leave, and then he ended up having to come back out. Am I wrong? Is that wrong? For real, like, is that wrong?
You know, another thing that just really grinds my gears? When a person lacks a sense of urgency in a clearly urgent situation, right? So going back to the story that this young lady told, the man told you church started at 10. He told you that he would be at your house by 9:20. He did that. And you were still late. He still waited on you to finish getting ready, right? This woman had such a lack of sense of urgency that she, in the midst of her being late, she's then asking to go to Starbucks. Something that she could have ordered. I don't think Starbucks has Uber Eats, but there are plenty of coffee spots that you can Uber Eats. You know you're getting ready. One thing I tend to do is when I have a situation like this, I order food to the crib. Order food to the crib. Make sure that I can order some food that's gonna get to me quickly. You know what I mean? All right, hold on. I'm gonna do my waterproof mascara in my waterline. But yeah, I'm gonna order food that I know that's gonna get to me quickly so that I can get to where I'm fucking going and I'm not keeping anybody waiting on me. But the truth of the matter is, whether this woman wanted to go to church or not, it doesn't matter. She just didn't care. She wanted to put her worst foot forward with this man immediately, and it just makes no sense, right? So anyway, so now you're in the car riding to church, and you get to church at 10 a.m. on the dot when service begins. So this man obliged you, even when you were late, didn't have an attitude with you, because I feel like if he would have had that, she would have told us. Didn't raise his voice, didn't have an attitude with you, was very understanding, still took you to Starbucks. And your puss ass didn't think to yourself, during this ride, let me drink whatever the fuck I gotta drink from this coffee that I got from Starbucks. Let me fix my lips or fix whatever I gotta fix. Let me lotion up my ashy ass motherfucking ankles before we get there so that I can be ready to go. No. You sat your ass in that car and was just tweedly-dee and sipping and just carrying on like with no sense of urgency to the point where you got to the church. Oh, hold on. Let me do my makeup. Let me fix my makeup. Let me do this. Let me do that. Bitch, what? And even despite all of that, that man still didn't have an attitude with you. If she would have told us that he would have told her, hey, you know what? This is a lot. Thank you so much for coming, but you're going to have to find an Uber home. I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad. Because to be honest, let me tell you something. One person who doesn't have patience, from the time you would have asked me for the Starbucks, I would have drove my happy ass back to your house and dropped your ass off. It's cool. I know they stream service. I'll catch the beginning when I get home from service. It was clear that that man of God was trying to get his ass over to New Birth. I don't know if they're in Atlanta, but baby, one thing about it, New Birth, well, it's not New Birth because New Birth service starts at 9:30. Baby, if you're not there by 9:25, you're not getting a good seat. You gotta just go ahead and just sit in the back. Literally. For a while, and I still get away with this. I really shouldn't say this on camera, but I'm gonna say it, child. But, you know, Pastor Jamal, he's called me his adoptive little sister. So the way I be running that into the ground, yeah, I need to sit in the front because I'm his sister. I'm his adopted sister. And the church mothers be like, okay, baby, go ahead, baby, go ahead. I stopped using that 'cause I started feeling guilty. But I'm going to start using it again. I'm going to start using it again, okay? But the way it's clear that that man was trying to get a good seat in the house of God, and you were prohibiting him, or I don't know if that's the correct word, but you were stopping him from doing that. And still, as he told you, you know what? As you told him, I need to do this, I need to do that. He said to you, you know what? Here goes the key. Lock up. Because it's clear. He wanted to get into the service and get you a seat so that you would not have to look for one. He was still willing to go look for a seat for you so that you would not have to look for it. So that you could take your time, put on your makeup, lotion up your ashy white ass ankles. And despite him doing all that, you still tried to flip the script on this man and said to this man, oh, I feel like you leaving me. Trying to argue with this man and making it seem like he tried to leave you. Mind you, he left you with his key. How is he going to leave you if he's leaving you with his key? With the key to his car? How is he leaving you? That feels microaggressive. And I know she's a black woman, but the tone of that to me is just so tone deaf because that's a black man. That's a young black man doing all he can. God protect him. He just want to live. That's a young black man trying to do what he can, taking you to church. And you're trying to spin it. You're trying to spin this story to make him sound negligent, inconsiderate, rude, mean, when these are all words that actually apply to you. Nasty work. Nasty work. Nasty work. And you're a black woman doing that. That's really nasty if you really sit down and think about that. Anyway, as he goes into the church, you call your best friend to come get you. You call your best friend to come get you, and as you're doing that, he comes back outside. He comes back outside and convinces you to go into the church with him. Now, apparently, according to this young lady, the man actually is considering taking her out again. I didn't bother to look up for another update. I actually think whoever this man is, he should run. He should actually run for the hills because she's, no. Absolutely not. If that is how a woman is behaving for your first outing, that is an absolute no. If I was his sister, I would say absolutely the fuck not. That is not the roof to your Boaz. Go sit your ass down, Boaz. That ain't roof. That would be me. If I was his sister, that would be me to my brother. Because ain't no way. Ain't no way. All right, let me put my lip on, child. Let me put my lip on. I'm going to use my chestnut lip liner from MAC. I'm going to use this Mademoiselle lipstick from Juvia's Place and this MAC lip gloss. But these are my eyes so far, child. But there was a guy that I saw that stitched this video on TikTok, and he said something, I was like, that is so true. He said that y'all be asking for spiritual men all the time, and this is how y'all behave. And it's true. It's very true. He had a point with that. And also, I think that, listen, men ain't shit, right? Men do a lot of things that are wrong, especially nowadays in the dating field, right? The dating is just, it's the pits. But I do think that women need to do a better job of considering men's feelings as well. These men who are planning dates deserve respect, and they deserve for you to be considerate. All right. Now, maybe she felt it was a church date, so it ain't no thing. He ain't really spending no money. Maybe that's why she had him spin up to Starbucks. I don't know. But if that's the case, then you shouldn't have went on the date. I'm just saying that if that's the case, if that's how she was thinking, she shouldn't have went on that date. Make sure that you get a man that's going to take you to Ruth Chris for the first date. If you don't want a church date for the first date, don't do it. If you're looking for a man to spend money on you for the first date, make sure that's what you get. Don't settle if that's not what you want. But her behavior, it just screamed, I don't care about this man. I don't care about what he got going on. And I'm sorry, that's just nasty behavior. It's childish behavior. It's selfish behavior. And it's just, I don't condone that. Now, a lot of you guys know that my first date with Mr. Easter was Easter service last year. We went to Buckhead Church, And, you know, there's an episode on my podcast where he and I talk about it. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I include the link here, and you could probably see it somewhere on the screen. But we talked about, you know, how we met and the fact that our, you know, first date was Easter Sunday service, which is a big Sunday, which is a big service to go to, especially like for, you know, first date. I think church period is a big deal for a first date. I don't suggest it for everyone. I will say that, you know, like we talked about in the podcast, you know, it was something that was clearly on both of our hearts. Like I had asked him what he was doing for the weekend. He told me he was going to church. I felt a nudge in my heart to ask him if I could go to church with him. I did not obey that nudge, but he asked me, and that's how I knew. In spite of me being disobedient, he was obedient to that nudge. And I think that that was God. I think that that was, you know, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, but I think it was the Lord. And thank goodness he followed that, because we did end up going to church together. We went to Buckhead Church together. And then afterwards, we went to some Mexican spot for brunch. I can't tell you how the food was. I just know we were in there for like 4 hours, just getting our lives, just talking. We had met like a week and a half prior at Dish Nation. At the time, Jay, he had the Freaknik documentary and he was on a promo run for it, and he wasn't even supposed to come to Dish Nation. JD was supposed to come to Dish Nation, Jermaine Dupri, and he didn't show up, so Jay came in his place. And anyway, we ended up going to church, and we've been together ever since. It sucks because, you know, this man could be this woman's like husband. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna. I don't know her. I don't know this man, but y'all be out here playing around. Y'all be out here playing around with good men. And honestly, I'm starting to think that some women don't deserve good men. And I hate to say that because I don't ever want to be on men's side. But I do feel that some women, especially if your behavior is this behavior, you might not deserve a good man. You deserve to go to therapy. Go to therapy if this is how you approach things. And then you do all that, then you have the nerve to come on like, am I wrong? Am I wrong, y'all? Am I wrong? You are dead ass wrong. Church for a first date, and this is how you act? Girl, please. Please, like... You dead ass wrong. And to be honest, it kind of feels like rage baiting, but it's a good topic to discuss because a lot of women do act like this. A lot of women do act like this. I think that there are a lot of women out there who want a wholesome man, who want this, but they're not willing to go to church on a first date. They're not willing to have that first date where you just get to sit there and observe the person. If you watch the podcast with me and Mr. Easter, he talks about how he observed my praise and how my praise turned him on.
Do you remember what you did that second Sunday we went to church?
Which time? What'd I do?
You put your hand on my lap.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
In the house of the Lord, really be for real.
Well, I don't want to. This is gonna sound crazy. That Easter Sunday, I was turned on how you were praising. Like, I don't want to go to hell for this. Not turned on.
My worship turned you on.
No matter how I say it, it's gonna sound terrible. I can't say my dick was hard because you was crazy. I'm just saying. It turned me on to see you being so in tune with your spirituality.
Like, you know, it was a wild thing to say, but it was true. It was true. Like, somebody's spirituality can definitely, like, you know, like, ooh, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on now. I didn't know they had all that going on now. I didn't know they had all that Jesus going on. You know what I mean? Like, but some of y'all just won't give it a chance. And anyway, those are my thoughts on this TikTok Tuesday. Drop in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. But I think she's dead ass wrong. What do you think? Oh, and by the way, this is our final look. Child, this room is a mess. So, child, Child, it's a mess, but this is our final look. I hope that you like it. Let me know what you think about today's TikTok Tuesday. And let me know what you think about this eye. Let me know what you think about this makeup, child. Also, drop in the comments and let me know what other makeups I should be getting. I just got a whole bunch of Danessa Myrick stuff, so I want to use that for the next TikTok Tuesday. So let me know, y'all. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care of yourselves and each other.
I'll touch that 5 for you. I do that 3-4 times again. I testify for you. By multi to yeti boosting you. I'll do all of them around. Just get to do. I'm not. Long as you out here looking for me, I got it. Ooh, yeah.